Oh yeah, this show. I just completely forgot it. Was living in bliss not having to watch Love After Lockup. Hey guys, it's Wahimeth, but just call me Wah. Melanated! Welcome to my recap of Love After Lockup. This is season 2/season 3, episode 35 and 36. Love or Con? Or Truth and Consequences. This is basically the Lacey show, so let's jump into it. Are y'all still mad at me? Are we gonna talk about what happened last night?
I'm not mad at you.
Okay, because I just want to say that I'm really sorry about the way I behaved yesterday. I want to thank you so much for being a gentleman and trying to stop me from driving drunk. And I just want us to move on from here, but I do need to finish this thing off with John. I did promise him, and I'm a woman of my word.
Well, I'm not okay with him paroling here. That's not gonna happen.
But I still have to go and see, like, what it is between John and I. So basically that's what happened between Lacey and Shane in her bedroom after the night of the huge fight where she acted up at the Denny's because he proposed to her. Basically what Lacey's trying to say is that Shane didn't put any effort into his proposal. Like, it felt to her like it was rushed, that he just did it in order to sort of circumvent what John had done. It didn't seem genuine. And she would be right to assume that. He only proposed to her because he felt like he had to match what John had done. Let's jump forward to her getting out of the house and in her car on her way to pick up John from the correctional facility, and Shane being like, no, I'm going with you. I don't think this is right. You're not gonna go there, you know, by yourself, because he recalls his first meeting with Lacey and how magical and wonderful it was. But Lacey's like, I need to go there and see if I have the same reaction towards John as I did towards Shane. And then Shane decides that he is going to call an Uber producer and take him to where John is being released from. So Lacey gets there. When she goes to hug John, she's not into it as much as John is. Like, John's super into her, and she's just like, doesn't feel the same chemistry that she once felt with him. And she says that, you know, when John is not doing heroin and has a job, he's great. But when he doesn't have a job and is doing heroin, he's not the best. And I thought, you were dating a man who was doing heroin? So she realizes there's no chemistry between her and John, and she tells him, look, here, take your ring back. Like, there's no chemistry. I don't feel anything towards you. I love you and I will always love you, but I'm not in love with you. And he gets upset. You told me all this stuff and now you're changing your mind and blah, blah, blah. I've been waiting for you. And she's like, yeah, I've been waiting for you for an entire year. And to come here and not feel that is disappointing, but I've moved on and so should you. I said I was gonna come pick you up, so here I am to tell you the truth, but like, that's it. You know, meanwhile, he's coming out of jail in like chancletas and like shorts. So I'm like, oh, this guy got hemmed up. He got arrested in sandals and shorts and a shirt and has been in jail for the last year. He gets released in the craziest, tackiest outfit, you know? And so he's pissed off at her, and they're walking around the parking lot, and then Shane shows up, and Shane doesn't have any real words with John. He just gets there, and all of a sudden, Lacey starts to make out with Shane like John is not there. They cannot get into the car and leave because they're so busy making out. And John is just like, oh my God, come on, I'm right here. Like, what? I just found out my girlfriend doesn't like me anymore and doesn't want to be with me anymore, and she's gonna like be in the parking lot just making out with this other guy. Like, hello? John starts to call Shane all kinds of names, and Shane is like, listen, I only came here to make sure that my girl wasn't over here cheating on me and wasn't trying to get with this dude. I'm not going to prison for antibody. Okay? So Shane takes the high road and he chills over by the car while John is going at him. And then Lacey, she's like, you know what? You're not gonna talk to my man like that. She goes up to John and slaps him in the face. And she's like, stop talking mess about Sean. I'm gonna tell you one more time. And then you're just like, oh, okay. So now she's gonna go and slap John in the face. Let's say the same way she did Shane, and antagonize him and be like, what? You wanna fight? What? Because she knows that John can't hit her back. If John were to wail off on Lacey, Lacey is not winning that fight. She snatches his phone from him. This girl is quick, okay? John is not ready for this. He's been a whole 365 days incarcerated, not having to deal with this kind of stress or drama from a person he can't attack back. And all of a sudden she's snatching his phone. She's doing all this stuff. She's telling him to chill. And you better not talk to my man like that. And who do you think you are? And da-da-da-da-da. Like, she doesn't have a whole years and years and years of history with John. And then she finally gives him back his phone after she's like, yeah. And he just continuously is berating Shane, saying, oh, you let your woman fight for you. She's just like, I wasn't gonna let John talk about Shane that way because I love Shane. I'm in love with Shane. And so then they make out some more, and then they finally get in the car and take off. And John is like, man, I'm going in there. I'm changing my parole to my parents' house. I'm gonna stay with my parents. That's the end of their drama, and it was just so dumb. Next couple that we're going to talk about is Amber and Vince. I mean, Hercules. So we have Amber, and she gets a phone call from Puppy and tells Puppy like, yo, I cannot do this, okay? I thought I was going to be able to come out and marry this fool and like get his government beneficiary monies from him, but I can't do it. The idea of like being, no. And Puppy's like, we had a plan. Me, you, and your mom had a plan on how you were going to do this, and now you're backing out of it. And then we start to go, oh, I forgot Amber was a hustler, baby. I just want you to know it ain't where I've been, but where I'm about to go. So that's what happened. She was conning Hercules, and now she's mad at Hercules because she feels like he was conning her. And I'm like, y'all was both conning each other, so like, who cares? And then in that moment, as a woman, I felt like, okay, if she really is this disgusted by friends, she definitely should not, and Puppy shouldn't be forcing her to. Like, basically, they're like, look, we could get set up. We could have some money when we all get out on the outside, and then you could divorce him, and it could be good. You don't have to do no prenup. You could take half of his money, and then we all be chill. All you have to do is just be with this guy, give him a head, have sex with him. You know what I'm saying? For me and your mom. And Amber's like, I cannot do this. And she's over there yelling, right? And at some point she looks up and she sees Kathy. Kathy has been watching her from the veranda. Like, what is she yelling about? And then she's like, oh my God, your mom's here. And she's been watching me for I don't know how long. I gotta go. So she hangs up with Puppy. And then Kathy comes downstairs and starts to talk to Amber. And Amber's like, basically, we were conning Vince as a way to set it up, but I can't go through with it. And Kathy's like, well, good. So then just now get out of it. Tell Vince that you don't want to be with him, that once you got out, you know, you're straight, and move on. And Amber's like, I can't. So many people are depending on me. My mom and Puppy are depending on me to get this money so that we can be set up when they come out of prison. And Kathy's annoyed because Kathy's like, y'all just got out of prison for hustling, and now you're coming out and the first thing you do is start a whole hustle. You started the hustle in prison and now you're coming out to do this? Like, come on. I thought you guys were done with that. Here I am giving you a home. You need to do what's right. And Amber's like, I know, but they don't want me to do what's right. And I can't do it. I can't even sleep with him. I can't. There's no I can't. I'm just like, oh, girl, this sounds like a rock and a hard place for real. Like, there are other things you can do, sis. You could get back on the pole. She could go to the strip club. Why can't she make money at the strip club? I mean, I think there's so many things that she could do. Because she obviously has ties in the community. Why can't she work at the strip club? She just needs to lose a little weight with Vince. She's like, look, Vince, I can't marry you, but if you can be my personal trainer, that'd be great. You know, like something. I don't know, girl. There's a place for her. She could work. And she could make a life for them. So the next couple that we're going to talk about is... Who else was there? I didn't even take any notes. This is all just off the dome. Oh, Glorietta, girl. But I want to save the best for last. The next couple that we're going to talk about is Angela and Tony. You guys, Angela really hurts my feelings. I want the best for Angela. I want her to be strong, and Tony has weaseled his way back into her life. So we leave her, and she's resolved to not be with Tony, and that he's this terrible person. And then we get back to her, and she's working on the Harley bike. And she said she bought it for Tony, but since he didn't act right and never actually made it to her house, she's been just riding it. And girl, she gets on that bike and takes off. And I was like, I love Angie. Except for I wish she had a helmet on. You know, I was worried about her. He's out, you guys. He got out. So he only did a couple of weeks in there for evading capture or whatever, or like running away. And then he's back out in a halfway house. He's been calling her every day since since he's been out of the halfway house, like begging her to come back, like all this stuff. And she's just been ignoring him and or answering him and being like, leave me alone, and hanging up. And so finally he gets her on the line. He's like, don't hang up. Don't hang up. I love you so much. I did wrong. I'm really, really sorry. I love you so much. You see, I'm trying. Like, why would I call you every day if I wasn't trying? And I'm just like, sis, he's calling you every day because he doesn't have a place to go after this halfway house. He's like, will I hear from you again? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, great, that's not a no. She's like, okay, I'll talk to you later. And then the next scene we have is her and Tommy. She's happy. Tommy is just like, the saddest character on TV. He done asked this woman to marry him, says that he loves her, and now he's gonna help her. I mean, girl, this is like romantic comedy, like the friend who's staunchly in the friend zone and like doesn't know how to let go or love someone else. Tommy is waiting for Tony to mess up so he could be there to pick up the pieces. But I'm just like, Tommy, Angela said she can't imagine having sex with you. If a woman can't imagine having sex with you, then that means she will never be in a relationship with you. And if she is, it will be a sexless one. And she can't wait to have sex with Tony. She's just like, oh, his body is so great, and we didn't even get to have sex the last time. And she's so excited that Tommy goes with her to pick this fool up. And Tommy has questions. He wants to interrogate Tony. He wants to make sure that Tony is doing right by Angela. Angela tells Tommy not to tell Tony about his proposal. So they drive over there to get him. She runs and hugs him and throwing up in my mouth a little bit. And then he gets in the car. Tommy sits in the back. Tommy's like, did you kill anybody? And Tony's like, I don't want to talk about that. And I'm just like, that's a yes or no question. First of all, I know Tony ain't killed nobody. To me, Tony is just like a druggie. Tony wants steaks, so they go to get steaks. And Tommy goes in on Tony again. It's like, what makes her believe you this time? Why did you cheat on her? You know, how are you going to behave? Tommy's asking all these hard questions, and Angela's like shaking her head because she approves. She wants to know these answers to these questions too. Like, how did you cheat on me? Why are you with another woman? And Tony is just like, look, you're going to have to see it eventually. I'm going to be a better person. He's getting a little annoyed with Tommy asking all these questions, but I'm like, Angela needs it because obviously Angela don't make good choices. I totally skipped the scene of Angela and her sister. Now listen, the eyeshadow wasn't right, okay? But what was right is that she came there with her game face on, ready to be on camera. And that's what I do love about Angela and her homies. They all come ready with makeup. I was like, where's Brenda? I think Brenda's real cute. She always come a little cute outfit. Her hair is real cute, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love the sister-sister conversation. She was like, look, I support you and Tony because I know you fall hard in love and give your whole heart. But if he does you wrong, I'ma skin him and let the dogs eat him. I was like, oh, that's the sister you want in your corner. She said she gonna skin Tony and let the dogs at him. All right now, sis. Okay, I see you. Well, the next couple that we're gonna talk about is Daniel and Lizzie. Last episode, we discovered that she wasn't pregnant, and she was like, then we wearing condoms then, okay? And Daniel's like, I'm not ready to be a dad. He's like, in fact, I'm not even ready to be married or any of these things, but I feel like I'm gonna lose her. So he talks to his mother about getting her a promise ring. They then go to the jeweler to look for the cheapest ring they can find. I mean, the man says that the ring is gonna cost $500, and they were like, oh no. And I was like, oh, okay, so what y'all trying to get then? Then the man took the price down for another ring to $3, and mom is like, and you know, Daniel don't got no money, so Mother Teresa's the one who's buying the ring, and she don't even really like Lizzie like that, but she gonna do it for her son because she wants to keep Daniel happy and in her house. I feel like Mother Teresa might have a lot of guilt about Daniel and like the reason why he got on drugs and everything, so I think this time around she's trying to be the best mom she could be, you know? So I feel her on that. She's like mama bearing the situation. So then they find the smallest, tiniest little ring, and it's $200, and she begrudgingly says yes to $200. And they get the ring, and what Mama Teresa doesn't know is that the ring isn't a promise ring. It isn't an engagement ring. He is going to use that ring to ask her to marry him. Daniel does something really sweet. He tries to like orchestrate this whole night where he blindfolds her, and she's just like, blindfold? No, not into it. But he convinces her to do the blindfold. And so He gets her to get into the car. He drives, and that car is worse for wear, girl. I mean, that was my first car, Mazda 3, the very first edition of it, and I see her car and I'm like, oh, it looks like my car, but my car was bright orange. Anyways, it's the snow though. The snow does the worst to your car. He drives her to this like bed and breakfast looking place called Destinations, which they want us to know the name of it. And he says that she's talked about how she loves Paris and how she really wants to go to France one day in her life. And it's like a bucket list goal of hers. And she thinks it's so beautiful and romantic. So he gets a room that is set up like a French outdoor scene. You know, there's like a fake Eiffel Tower. There's a lot of fake plants. There's like a running water. Like the Eiffel Tower is the shower. It's just like this weird kitschy space, but it's like designed to be French-like. And so she gets in there, she's blindfolded and she doesn't know what's going on. She hears running water because that's the fountain that's in the middle of the room for some reason. And he opens her blindfold and she is so happy. She is so surprised and so happy that I'm just like, oh, Daniel, oh, that's so sweet. Like, I think, oh my God, Daniel, you really did that. I'm happy for him. And then he gets down on one knee after being so nervous that she's like, what is going on? And he proposes to her and she says yes, and she's so happy. And then she's like, I think that lots and lots of sex is gonna happen right now. And I'm like, more power to you, sis. So the last couple that we're going to talk about, save the best for last. So you went and saved the best for last. Glorietta and Alexander. Glorietta. So Glorietta is going dress shopping and she wants something very classy and mermaid cut with the heart shape and bedazzled but elegant, and all of that is just like doesn't go in the same sentence with the word elegant. So I know it's about to be some like bedazzled trashy nonsense, but she meets her homegirl and she's really putting it on for the camera and this salesperson. She's like, I would like this beautiful bedazzled and I want it to look elegant and I want like accessories, so I can't envision it without a veil and a long train. So they give her that. She has her book with her wedding book. And she goes through and she picks wedding dresses and she's, finds the one that looks the best for her. And she's like, you can't put a price on what you want. $5,000 is a lot for a wedding dress, but so be it. And I'm just like, isn't that like average? $5,000? I don't know. Meanwhile, Alexander gets up with his friend Cato and freely uses the N-word. And it's like, what up, man? Yeah, homie, yeah, or whatever. Cato picks up Alexander so Alexander can go and meet his ex, Juliana. Juliana's just come out of rehab. Juliana and Alexander meet, and Alexander automatically gets butterflies in his stomach for Juliana. He realizes that he still loves her, that he does love Glorietta, but because he doesn't really know Glorietta or know why she likes him, like it leaves him a little skeptical and he wants to know if something could happen with Juliana. He like is holding her hand and then he tells her that he has a fiance and she's like, fiance? And she also says that she's not in a place to really be dating Alexander either because Alexander doesn't really know her as a sober individual. I want to know what their backstory is. I wish I had seen a picture of them beforehand. Like, is there not a picture they could have showed us? I would have loved to see that picture. She's just like, listen, I'm not playing second fiddle to anybody. I'm not anybody's sloppy second. And I'm not a homewrecker. So if Alexander wants to be with me, he's gonna have to tell Glorietta, break up with Glorietta, and then come to me. How good is he for her sobriety? That's what I'm wondering. You know what, Juliana? Don't look back. Keep it moving. Then there is a Valentine's Day dinner. And I'm thinking, was this filmed a whole year ago in February? So Glorietta and Alexander, Cato, and his wife, Dawn, go and have a romantic dinner on Valentine's Day together. And Glorietta comes there with a purse shaped like a heart, just in case you were wondering who she was as a person. And Dawn is real uncomfortable because Dawn knows that Alexander has secretly met with Juliana on the side. And Glorietta is just like talking about good stuff and like positivity and their wedding. And finally Cato is like, why do you want to marry Alex? And Juliana gets taken aback because she wasn't expecting that. She's like totally like, why would you ask me that? I just want to make sure that you guys are making the right choice. And she's like, we're in love. I love him. And like, what? Why would you ask me that right now? This is like a good day, and like we shouldn't be talking about things that matter or like the nuances of our relationship. So then Alex decides that he's gonna jump in and be like, yeah, Glorietta, why do you really like me? And Glorietta gets very defensive and Alex is pissed. So Kato and Dawn get up to go smoke to allow these two to have this conversation. Alex is like, no, really, why do you love me? Like, what is it? This is Valentine's Day. Like, this is the time for me to ask you why you love me and why you want to marry me, because what do you really know about me? And he thinks that, you know, she just likes that he's like been in prison, is kind of a bad boy and has tattoos and a nice body. And he's like, why would I be with you when I could be with Juliana, who like loves me for me? He's really thinking that Juliana's really trying to be back with him. And I don't think that's what she's trying to do, but who knows? He's getting frustrated because Glorietta is being defensive and not answering his questions. So he goes downstairs to smoke and she gets upset. When you're in love and you guys have an argument, you guys just argue. It's called creative debating. And I'm like, what? It's called creative debating? It is not called that. So she comes downstairs to smoke too. And she's like, you're ruining Valentine's Day. And so he's just like, look, I'm out of here. I'm ready to get up on out. And he leaves her. He and Kato and Dawn leave her. And I'm like, that is so jacked up. Even if you're mad, like to leave her, that's dramatic, bro. This is the first time I'm like, okay, Alex, I didn't like that. That was weird. So I don't know how I feel about it, but you know, I'll see you in 2 weeks with another review. All right, you guys, so let's have a kiki and a conversation down in the comments section. Please let me know what you guys thought of these episodes. I mean, it's kind of getting tedious watching this. I can't wait till the end. It's like, it feels like it's the never-ending story. The never-ending story. Love after lockup. All right, you guys, remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye. I almost forgot how to do it. I was like, what?